Welcome back. It is time to talk about cybersecurity, from resilience to accelerating innovation. I am being joined today by Mindy, Cancila, VP of Corporate Strategy at Dell Technologies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for having me. Very happy to be here.
So let's get down to it. When we talk about cyber resilience, we've heard a lot about cybersecurity over the last couple of days. Cyber resilience is why we're here. So can you tell the folks at home who are watching, or even those at Dell Technologies World that are watching, what is cybersecurity, what is cyber resilience, and why is it so important?
Yeah, I mean, cyber resilience is really that focus on making sure your environment is going to be resilient and secure. It's about the same things we've always focused on, making sure that your environment is available, it's performant, it's secure, which really segues into the cybersecurity aspect. And when we think about cybersecurity, this is the fact that we've seen attackers continue to try and really get access to your data, and they don't always have the best of intentions, right? And so it's really important that organizations focus on making sure that their environment is going to be safe. And when we think about why that's important, the world has become so distributed. You know, people are working from everywhere. Their devices, their data are further distributed. Now we have people doing things on premises and edge deployments and public clouds. And as you think about that increased distribution of where compute, storage, and the data actually live, it just increases that attack zone for those attackers with malicious intent. And so it becomes really important that we become more distributed, that we really focus on ensuring that we have the right cybersecurity, cyber resilient approaches and philosophies in how we're treating security in our business.
So it sounds like the environment has changed, the world has changed, the working world has changed.
Exactly right.
And so we're trying to address that.
That's exactly right. I mean, workers are everywhere, data's everywhere, compute and storage are everywhere, and as that continues to accelerate, you've got to make sure you continue to focus on cybersecurity.
You know, another thing that came up during even the keynote, I believe yesterday, we talked a lot about zero trust. Can you tell those who are watching how or why should organizations invest their time and resources into that zero trust environment?
Yeah, when you think about the security processes, the philosophies that we've had, frankly, they're not cutting it.
Yeah.
What we've been doing is not going to allow us to get to where we need to be in the future. So we need to rethink the way we approach security holistically. It comes back to the 3 A's that we've been talking about forever. You know, and when we think about those, what becomes most important is that continuous authentication into that device. And that's not something we've historically done, right? In the past, what we've done is you authenticate once, and I assume that you're always authenticated to that access, that data, that application, that workload, that location, whatever that might be. When in reality, because of the volume of data being created and the distributed nature of that data, we need to change the approach for how we make sure that we secure and protect that attack perimeter. Zero trust allows you to take a never trust, always require another round of authentication before you grant access to any kind of an application, the data, the location, whatever that might be. And when we think about the security market, this market has historically been fragmented with a bunch of vendors. And when I talk with customers, what they say to me is the last thing we need or want is another solution, tool, et cetera, that we have to manage, deploy, maintain in our environment. Zero Trust allows us to take that new approach to make sure that we continue to protect the environment.
You know, one of the things that I was thinking about is it sounds like we're trying to keep up with what's happening. The fact that the environment has changed, the fact that cybersecurity attacks continue to get better, more sophisticated. And one of the themes that we talked about during Dell Technologies World this year is innovation. So can you tell me how cybersecurity and innovation go hand in hand? I imagine they do, but you would know better than me. So
yeah, the more that you innovate, you drive that innovation in lots of new ways, in new places, and they might be physical locations, they might be new virtual locations. The more that you're innovating, the more that attack surface continues to grow. So when we think about innovation, innovation really is on 3 different things. It's your people, it's your processes, and your technology. We've talked about technology stacks that will allow you to harness the zero trust types of capabilities, but it's more than that. You have to think about the people and the processes as well. And what I would say for most organizations, get started, right? You don't have to have a holistic shift in your entire environment overnight. Start working to adopt those processes and adapt what you're doing today, because again, as you said very well, your environment is changing. It's continuously reshaping based on trying to leverage technologies like AI as an example. The more that we think about those emerging technologies everybody wants to leverage in order to be able to better innovate, we introduce new security threat perimeter things that we need to really make sure we have processes to really be able to control.
Tell me a little bit about that journey. Obviously, we can't do everything at once if you're an organization that's just new to this zero trust concept. From their perspective, how can they slowly innovate on their own journey, their own cybersecurity type of operation?
Yeah, that's where we would encourage folks, go try out the zero trust implementation that we've put into practice. You saw it in the mobile command center in what Herb Kelsey announced this week. Go try it, get started, practice, play with the technology, look at your processes that you have, and go back to the basics on each of those and rethink every single one of them. You don't have to do everything overnight, but get started.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I know that there's so much that we can talk about with cybersecurity, but I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, Cynthia. Happy to be here.